Hello everyone, today we're doing something just a little bit different. Instead of a computer monitor being filmed in the dead of night, I am taking a look at some computer virus memorabilia along with some other kind of general computing related memorabilia I've picked up over the years. Now I'm going to get right into it. I'm going to start with the general memorabilia first, and then we'll get into the computer virus stuff, which I think is pretty neat, and you don't see a whole lot of merchandise featuring computer viruses. So first up, we've got a couple of these little model computers, big model computers. So one on the right is a PC XT, and the one on the left is just a generic computer. If you kind of zoom in a little bit here, see if we can focus a little bit on that screen. So it's kind of based off like Windows 3.195, and this is actually a calculator and alarm clock. And funny story, it did used to have batteries in it, and one day, like some of these old electronics from the 80s and 90s, just started beeping randomly forever and would not stop. So its battery privileges were revoked immediately, and they have not been reinstated. This thing seems to be like a little sales model that IBM salesmen would bring along to show customers how the IBM PC XT would look. So you got equipment, application requirements, options, price, all under one umbrella. You got the two full height floppy disk drives, and you got a nice little storage compartment. I don't know what that's all about, but this also slides out so you can fit business cards or something else. I don't know. I'm not entirely sure, but I just think they're neat. Next up, we've got some pins. These are just nice little metal pins. I've mounted them to some card stock, very professional. We got Microsoft certified partner pins across the bottom. Microsoft Windows with the old NT 3.51, 3.1 logo. Windows 2000 Server, 1 year out, 1 million strong, 2 of those, and Microsoft Excel. And yep, they're pins. I don't know what to do with them, but here they are. Here we've got a Intel Inside Pentium 4 t-shirt, size extra large. So a little big on me now, and it's been packed so tightly, I wonder if I remove this shrink wrap, if it would ever properly become a t-shirt. I don't want to open it to find out. Now, you've heard of the Norton Desktop for Windows, but have you heard of the Norton Desktop for Windows sponge? Well, now you have. It's a sponge, and it says the Norton Desktop trademark for Windows. Yeah, there you go. This one's another pretty cool one. This is the Windows XP Professional Baseball. We've got the Bliss scene kind of stitched into the seams in the middle here. We got the logo on 2 sides. And made in China. That's what you like to see. In the background you may hear some faint clicking. That is the Cascade virus running on the 386 PC we usually use for these videos. That's the clicking now, if you can hear it. Just a little something so it's not just me talking in an empty room. Next up, we've got the Sinclair ZX Spectrum Zippo lighter. So actually a bomb lighter, but pretty clearly a Zippo. I mean, I don't smoke, I don't have any fuel in it. Maybe I should put some fuel in it because it does work. And it looks pretty cool. Alright, here's one that's totally off the wall. I think this is a coaster. It's designed for Microsoft Windows 95. It's got a cork bottom, but it's ceramic. It feels and looks like a swimming pool tile, so I always call this my Windows pool tile. I've never used it outside of just putting it up on the shelf. Alright, that's most of the general memorabilia stuff. Now we can start transitioning into some of the more related stuff for this channel. So this is a game I purchased about 6 years ago called Crazy DOS. So the synopsis is: outwit your pesky coworkers and transfer the files in your floppy disk before they crash the server. Unleash the power of mighty DOS and execute 18 commands: move, delete, make directory, rename, attribute, defrag, to disrupt their malicious or most likely incompetent actions. So this is the instruction manual. This is a game by Antonio Rohia, first published May 2017. So his Reddit subreddit is CDOS. And I'd like to apologize to you, Antonio, because I actually asked about getting a copy of this to do a review of it, and he sent it to me for free. And shortly thereafter, I ended up moving and putting it off and completely forgot about, and dug it out of the closet, and here we are 6, 7 years later, and I just feel like a total heel. So I am sorry, Antonio. Let's take a look at some of the cards. Let's pull some out. They're still very new. So you got like file5.com, sys files, exe, batch files, star.star format. I like that one. That comes in handy on this channel. So it seems like a neat little card game. I should probably read the rules and figure out how to actually play it so I can do a proper review of it. But Antonio, if you're still selling it, I hope a few people pick up a copy of this game. Let's make sure we get a nice close-up of all those contact details right there. Hit them up. Alright, now you've heard of the Y2K Bug, right? Well, here he is. I got him. It's a plushie. He's nice and fuzzy and comes from Image Master, the Y2K Bug. I'm sure this was a super popular kind of gag gift 23, almost 24 years ago now, but now it lives on my shelf. Now it's time for the cool virus stuff. So if you've ever heard of Dr. Solomon's Antivirus, now you can own the Dr. Solomon's Antivirus baseball cap. Go team. I'm assuming this was just some employee swag or something along those lines. Now I own it, and it's covered in cat hair because everything else in this house is covered in cat hair. This is a pretty neat book that I've got. I like to collect any kind of old computer virus literature that I can find. This one is A Pathology of Computer Viruses by David Furbrash. And the reason I like it so much is the S is actually dropping away, like the Cascade virus that you're hearing now. So, nice touch. Whoever designed this cover should get a raise, even though this book is 30 years old. Speaking of virus books, you ever wonder how tech support back in the day would be able to help you if you got a virus? Well, I found this on eBay. This is the IBM Virus Information Manual. It's all just loose leaf paper and a lot of it. And if you open it up, you actually have this nice little disclaimer here that tells you this document is intended for IBM internal use only, not intended for general distribution outside IBM. So this was published February 26th, 1992. So on the next page, the paragraph leads off. This document discusses computer viruses that infect programs in the PC-DOS and similar operating systems. It is designed to help technical personnel deal with virus infections. People such as help desk personnel and other frontline contacts at IS centers, computer emergency response team personnel, and area information center virus contacts can use this manual to identify and deal with the problems of a PC virus infection. Other technical people may also find it useful introduction to this subject and to ways of dealing with it. The more people who understand virus countermeasures, the better. I agree, and here we all are now. I just flipped to a random page and we can see here this is the Devil's Dance DOS virus, and I do have a video on this one. So you can see it's got the quote in here, "Have you ever danced with the devil under the weak light of the moon?" Gives you size increases, what it infects, and basically it's just an old school printout of virus descriptions and countermeasures like the introduction said. So if you had a client call up and say they have a virus and it's doing this, you could kind of skim through this document and try and see if you could pinpoint which one it was and tell them how to disinfect their PC. It's pretty neat. Of course, what good is disinfecting a PC if you don't have an antivirus? So you should always use protection on your computer, so you should get the Computer Condom. Contains the acclaimed Thunderbite antivirus software, and there is actually a giant oversized condom in here over the top of a 3.5-inch disc. I'm kind of hoping it hasn't deteriorated into rubbery mush, but we'll just have to open it and find out in a later video. The Antivirus Computer Condom. You can't be too careful. Even Michelangelo was infectious. Be responsible and practice safe computing. We at Miss Snow Incorporated firmly believe that each one of us must accept responsibility for making our world a better one. Our company is committed to protection of our work environment and our community. The acclaimed Thunderbyte antivirus software eliminates known viruses and identifies suspicious behavior, protecting your computer against unknown viruses as well. It works on any IBM or DOS-compatible computer. The packaging is meant to make a strong statement for awareness and personal responsibility. Our company will donate a portion of the annual proceeds from sales to AIDS research. We thank all distributors, dealers, resellers, and you, the purchaser. Contains 3 1/2-inch antivirus diskette, 1 novelty condom. Warning, keep out of the reach of children. That is some good advice. I mean, I get what they were going for, but man, what a way to go about it. Well, hey, whatever catches your attention. We're going to take a look at this in that antivirus review series. And if the antivirus condom didn't work, then here are the computer antivirus pills. Now, help for those oh my god moments when the screen goes blank. Professor Mega Bite My Ass Macintoshy Hong Kong. Wow. If your PC has a computer chip on its shoulder, knock it off with Universal Computer Antivirus Pills. Stick 2 pills in the hind end of its hard drive and teach it the real meaning of backing up files. If all else fails, eat complete contents of this bottle and throw up on the electronic never wrong must be you wise ass. What on earth were they going for with this? Like, I don't even get it, like the computer condom. This is just stupid. Somebody paid to manufacture this. Ingredients: sugar, corn syrup, corn starch. Contains less than 2%. Contains less that 2% of the following. You made a typo in the ingredients? Are you kidding me? Artificial flavor, confectioner's glaze, beeswax. Yellow number 5, yellow number 6, red number 40, red number 3, blue number 1, blue number 2. Notice, contains candy sold as a novelty item only. You don't say. After however many years this has been around, these candies are looking a little grainy. I'm definitely not going to be trying any of those. So let's move along to something a little cooler, but I still don't know why they made it. This is the Upper Deck I Love You Email Worm Baseball Card. It's the I Love You email virus. The quote is, "I love you has email recipients running for cover." And the picture is an infected mailbox. So you can see a few I love you emails and the attachment there. What's funny is that the picture they got says quarantined attachment. I don't know if you can read that. The text is kind of small. So they couldn't even get a picture of the worm actually attached to an email. It's something that had already been intercepted, but that's just me nitpicking. Let's look at the back. I Love You email virus attacking and overwriting a computer's files. 2000's I Love You virus quickly spread around the globe, affecting 10% of the world's computers. So this is a 2009 Upper Deck 20th anniversary baseball card. For some reason, for the 20th anniversary, they just had to make a baseball card about a virus. And this was in 2009. This is 9 years after the worm happened. I don't know. I don't get it. I don't really want to get it. But it's cool. And last but not least, this is one of those just weird things that I found on eBay and just had to buy, and I'm really glad I did. This is a ceramic computer viruses urn. So this came with a cork top, and I don't know if it was handmade. I mean, it's kind of bumpy and uneven, and the colors are just kind of painted on there. It's definitely not machined. It looks like maybe somebody made this and then stamped the letters into it. I don't know. But this is the computer viruses urn, and the description on the listing never gave me any sort of idea of why you would ever want to have this or what purpose it might serve. Eventually, some years down the line, I did find a listing that said you should offer sacrificed floppy disks, like burned to ashes to it, which, yeah, I guess. I don't know. It's just strange. I don't get it. But I like it. It sits on my desk all day, and I get to look at it. Sometimes I keep pens and pencils in it. And last but not least, This is the McAfee uninstaller, cleans Windows automatically. You can see they really went all out with this fantastic graphic design. This came out in 1999, says it cleans up hard to uninstall programs, which makes me wonder, can you use McAfee uninstaller to uninstall McAfee antivirus? That's something we're definitely going to have to explore. But I just want to thank you for joining me here on this weird trip down Memorabilia lane. It's not memory lane because some of this stuff is just plain strange and doesn't make me feel good when I look at it, but nonetheless, I appreciate you being here. Thanks for always sticking around and all of your very kind and loving and supporting comments. It means a whole lot to me. So thank you for joining me here again. And that's about it for the computer virus and vintage computing memorabilia virus. I was going to say virus video, but this is not a virus video. That is pure muscle memory. That's about it for the memorabilia video. Thank you very much for watching. Take care.